Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you are new. Today's video is a watch me work on these cute little floral ghost nails. These were inspired by this creator's post on Instagram and I just absolutely fell in love with them when I saw them and I couldn't not do them myself. I also love fall. Fall is probably my favorite season ever. And so anything like cutesy fall themed, I am totally here for it. So these are the products that I'll be using for today's nail design. I've got 4 of the yogurt syrup gels from the Cookie Bear collection, which was swatched in my last video. We've got shade 35, 32, 36, and 33. For my structured manicure, I'm using the Gel Bottle Rubber Base and Clear Builder in a Bottle. White, I'm using Nailz By Dev Whiteout. And then for my 2 top coats, I'm using the Kokoist Velvet Matte Top Coat and the Luminary Top Coat Empower. Off camera, I went ahead and did my structured manicure, and then now I'm getting started on painting the design. I am using the Yogurt Gel 33 for my base color. The Inspo picture was a little bit more of like a pinky nude color, but I didn't have a color similar to that, so I just used this one, and I actually really ended up liking it for the background. I really like working with these syrup gels. They self-level really nicely, which is if you do any nail painting. I don't know about you, but for me, streaky polish is the bane of my existence. And the syrup gels just don't do that, and I love it. And then I also really like that you can build up the opacity with the more layers that you do. So for this, I did do 2 layers. After my 2 layers of my base color, I am top coating with a shiny top coat. This is important for the look that we're going for because the flowers and the ghosts are going to be top coated with a matte top coat. At the time of recording this was like one of 2 or 3 top coats that I had, and I was struggling to get this polish to lay nicely. I later learned that sometimes if you're using 2 polishes that are not from the same brand, you can get what is called pitting. And there are a couple of ways to try and help keep it from happening. One of them is by making sure you wipe off the inhibition layer from the previous polish, which was helping me from pitting as quickly. But if I went through all of the nails and didn't flash cure in between, I noticed that I would start to get some pitting eventually. So sometimes it's completely inevitable, but if you just quickly apply it and then flash cure it right after, I noticed that seems to help. Now that I have the top coat done, I can get started on the design. You can pretty much use any solid surface plastic for a gel polish palette. As you can see here, I'm using a nail tips box and I'm just wiping it down with some rubbing alcohol to make sure there's no fuzzies or anything. And then I'm just dolloping a little bit of each color that I plan to be using on top of this palette. I'm going to start with the ghosts that are on my ring and pointer fingers. I am using this silicone tool to create the tops of the heads for the ghosts. This gave me like the perfect rounded edge. I highly encourage, if you are trying to do like something rounded like this, to find something rounded rather than trying to paint it with like a paintbrush or something. And then I'm taking a dotting tool and I'm dragging some of the white gel polish down, creating the body of the ghost. And same for this as well. The dotting tool is because I wanted the little ruffles on the bottom of the ghost to be rounded, and I picked the size dotting tool that I wanted the size of each of the ruffles to be. A lot of my video is sped up because I do take my time doing these designs and they can definitely take me quite a while to do, but I wanted to leave this portion in real-time speed just so you could kind of get an idea of, how long it takes me to do this. I did notice though that the ghost was a little bit skinnier than I wanted it to be, so I just took a smaller dotting tool and widened the edges of the ghost on both sides. And now I'm using another dotting tool to create the eyes for the ghosts. And now that I have the ghosts done, I can get started on the flowers. I'm starting out with just the 2 flowers that are on each of the ghost nails. I am just using a dotting tool again, and I'm dipping it in the light pink color from the yogurt nail syrups. And I'm just making a line with this and creating each of the petals. And then I flash cure for a couple of seconds after every 1 or 2 petals. This keeps them from bleeding into one another and keeps the petals as separate entities. And for the center of the flower, I'm using the darker reddish pink color, and this is going to actually be the center color for all of the flowers as well. This does end up being a pretty tedious and time-consuming design. I'm sure there are probably other ways to do this. This is just what I figured out was easiest for me to work with. As you can see, I did already my right hand with this, and that's the method that I used to do my right hand, so it's what I used to do the left hand as well. And now I'm starting on the second coat of each petal. However, before starting on the second coat, I did do a full 60-second cure of the nail just to make sure that every petal got a full 60 seconds, especially since I was flash curing the entire time, so there are some petals that might not have been fully cured. And now I'm just going to let you watch for a little while because you don't need to hear me say, and I made a petal, and I made a petal, and I made a petal over and over and over for the next however many minutes. Now, since the flowers on these two nails are done, I am taking my matte top coat and I'm going over each petal and the middle dots, and then for these two nails, the ghosts as well. Our little ghost nails are done. Now I can get started on the full flower nails, which is way more time consuming, so I really sped up the footage on this. I cut out a lot of the footage for the rest of the pinky nail and for the middle finger, just because it's very repetitive. It's the same thing over and over, and also for a lot of it I was either out of focus or out of frame. But now I'm showing you real-time footage of me applying the matte top coat to each flower. And every once in a while you'll see me compare my hands together, and this is just to make sure that I get the correct color in the sequence. I was just trying to make sure both hands were as symmetrical as possible. Making these flowers was definitely much trickier than I anticipated it to be, because you have to make sure that they're spaced out just enough that you can fit in like another flower and they can all like puzzle piece together in a nice pattern without overlapping or without too much gapping in between them. It might look like I'm doing this pretty seamlessly, but what you don't know is that I cut out all of the times that I placed down a petal and then I didn't like it, so then I erased it, and then I placed it again and still didn't like it, so then I erased it, and then I kept doing that until I got what I wanted. Granted, most of the trial and error was done on the first hand, and by the time I was doing the thumb, which is the last finger I'm doing, I kind of got the hang of where and how to place the flowers so that they fit nicely together and everything looked cohesive. Also, this is totally random, but the soundtrack for this video is called Ghostly Groove Halloween, and I thought it was just absolutely perfect for this video. I hope you're enjoying it, because I certainly am. It feels very Mission Impossible-esque. Here I think you can see better the difference that a second coat makes on these petals, because the vibrancy on the lower half of the nail is totally different than like the upper half. And there we have it. They're finally done. I loved these nails so much. They were so fun to have, and everybody loved the little texture that they had. They were so cute, and I miss them so much, and I will almost definitely have to do something similar again, either on a press-on set or myself again. But that's all I have for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!